One of my followers sent me a short video from the Brennan Center for Justice that I think is really powerful, and I want to share it with you here quickly, especially because it highlights a concept that I think we've all got to wrap our brains around if we want to defeat the fascists, and we're going to defeat them. So watch this real quick, and then I want to come back and talk about it because I think too many folks underestimate their own power.
And I'm indebted for this point to a fellow named Brendan Ballou, who was a line prosecutor on January 6 cases, but also worked in the antitrust division. And one thing he said that has very much stayed with me is that, people on the outside, they think that it doesn't matter when they complain, when they protest, when they speak up. And he said, it matters. He said, for those of us who are inside, trying to uphold the values and arguing at meetings and writing our memos, we're not the decision makers, but knowing that people outside are speaking up, they supply us with arguments, they supply us with courage, they mean we go to meetings and refuse to go along with some forced consensus, they mean we write memos alerting the decision makers to the ways in which what they're doing might violate the law or be dangerous policy. Maybe in some cases they become whistleblowers. So his message was, people have more power outside than they think, but it is necessary that they speak up.
So first off, the website for the Brennan Center for Justice has been an invaluable resource for me in particular. I highly recommend, if there's something that the regime is trying to do, some kind of legalese that you hear, some particular case or legal concept, and you don't understand it, go to their website and look it up. I have learned so much from them. But let's talk about what was discussed in this clip, because I think that too many of us discount our power. We discount the impact that we have on others. And I so appreciated this perspective. People who are working inside the government, they need to hear and see us speaking up, speaking out, standing up in courage. There is one element of us protesting, of us speaking out, of us calling our electeds, of us registering our discontent, our righteous indignation about what the regime is doing, the lawlessness, the illegality, the brutality of the regime. Part of that is because we are working to erode the pillars of support. We are trying to show everybody everywhere that there is a mass public opposition, that corporations, that media, that institutions should be more afraid, the military, they should be more concerned about the American people than they are about Donald Trump. That the people have far more power and we are aggregating that power and we are exercising it. That's an important aspect, right? Especially if you're looking at like craven politicians like the Republicans or even establishment Democrats who just don't have a spine and are fearful and don't want to act. They need to hear from us because they need to understand that we are here and we are powerful. We are owning our power and we are exercising it. That's impactful on one hand. But this gentleman here was speaking about how people inside the regime who are resistors, who are people who are trying to do the right thing from inside, they need to hear that we are speaking up. They need to hear that we are fighting back. It gives them the courage to be brave in the moment. It gives them the courage to not go along, to be non-compliant with the regime, to work to gum up the works of the regime, to undermine what the regime is doing. Kamala Harris says that courage is contagious, and I completely agree. The more we see other people standing up and fighting back, the more likely we are to do the same. I think for a lot of months, too many of us were, one, shell-shocked, but two, experiencing the bystander effect, where we saw terrible things happening, but we had that societal pressure, that psychological pressure to not be the first one to stand up and speak out. Human beings, we don't actually like to ruffle feathers by and large. We don't actually like to buck the system or stand against the crowd. And let's be clear, the regime knows that and they use that to their advantage, that people want to be seen as going along with the crowd. We are very much enculturated to obey and to fit in and to not go against what the majority is doing. The regime exploits that. And so it requires a few brave souls to stand up initially and say, I'm willing to stick my neck out. I understand that I might get some heat from other people, or that other people might be embarrassed and not want to associate with me, or that I may face consequences. It's that fear of the unknown that keeps people from standing up, as well as the fear of going against the crowd. When those initial people stand up and speak out, it gives other people all over the place witnessing what they are doing the courage to do the same, to join in. And now what we're seeing in the United States is this wave that is building, right? More and more folks are joining the resistance. Indivisible continues to add like dozens of groups every week. The resistance movement is growing because now, instead of being afraid to join in, we see that everybody wants to. Everybody is willing to be brave in this moment. It's no longer a fear of the unknown. We know what happens when we join the resistance movement. We stand arm in arm with other people who are willing to do this work alongside us and support us. We are not alone. We are many. We have friends everywhere. We are the majority. We just have to come together and flex our muscle. When we say we have friends everywhere, we also mean within government. The perspective of this video was so invaluable. You don't know who is watching you be brave. You don't know who needs to see you resisting so that they can find their courage and do the same. And when we realize that, like, we may think our small actions are not impactful, we may not think that it's doing enough to call or send an email or a postcard or to attend a protest, please understand other people are using that for them to be brave. When we realize that our small acts of resistance are not only accomplishing their individual tasks to erode a pillar of support or to support somebody who's being targeted by the regime, but they also are being witnessed by other people who are using that as a motivator to find their own courage and act. Y'all, please do not think that your efforts are in vain. Please don't think that just because you cannot see the full impact of what you're doing, that you are doing nothing, that your actions don't matter. I promise you they matter. And if we want to stop the fascists, we have to believe that our contributions to the resistance movement are impactful, they are crucial, they are necessary. What we are doing really matters, and we need all hands on deck. It's very much that throw your pebble in the pond and you don't see the end of those ripples. You don't know how far what you are doing will reach. You don't know how significant your impact actually is. You will never know. You'll never know, and that's okay. But please trust that when you choose to stand up and be brave, when you choose to take on those tasks that your neighbors, your grassroots movement are telling you, like, hey, this is what we need right now. This is how we fight back. This is how we organize together. When you choose to step into that work, please know, it is doing more than you could ever conceptualize. The fascists want you to believe that you are isolated, you are alone, nothing you do matters. Trump is big and inevitable and the fascists will win, and that you should just go ahead and lay down and give up and comply now because all hope is already lost. Please understand those are lies from the regime. That's propaganda. They would not be trying so hard to demoralize you to get you to give up in advance if you didn't have any power. And I thought this video was so important for helping us realize that we have friends in the government who are trying every day to fight back every way that they know how, and they need us. They need us to continue to do our work from the outside. And I hope that reality, like understanding that that's what's happening, I hope that bolsters you. I hope that helps you find your courage to do more, to help draw other people in. To realize it is the small actions of all of us that add up, and together we can get the job done.